Welcome back, guys. We're going to jump straight into Jace's client story. Awesome one, this one. I witnessed this in the gym while I was working with Jace, so
all right.
Story.
Well, this particular story, even though they're all they're all special, but this one in particular has its relevance to me, just because it was probably the one or the two very big weight loss stories that I had, especially at the start of my career as a trainer.
Changing kind of results.
Yeah, it was just the second time that I'd actually experienced on getting really killer results. In the first 1 to 2 years that I was a trainer, so I obviously hold those very close to my heart. Obviously, they all do mean the most to me, but it's always good to kind of get that first or two off the bat. I'm sure you guys all remember the first time you got killer results for someone.
Absolutely.
So this is about my client Mary, who I still train now. It was about 4 years ago that I met Mary for the first time. She came in to the gym, and off word of mouth from one of the lovely staff members who were working here at the time, they said that you should go and see Jason for your training. So sat down with Mary. Mary was about 120 kilos at the time, was super keen to lose weight. And we kind of just had a big chat about the whole process. She's a little bit nervous, so she kind of come in with one of her friends and they did some training together. So the the reason why Mary was there is Mary previously to that was fighting off breast cancer. So she spent a large portion of her time getting treatment for breast cancer, and actually got herself into remission after a very long time. And the doctor said to her that if she would lose, or if she lost some weight, it'd give her the best chance to stay in remission. And so they kind of set a bit of a goal that the next time she come in for a checkup, that she could have lost some weight. So for the first 6 months, obviously being quite large at the time, I had to take a lot of things into consideration. We're new to a gym, we're very nervous. Mobility, obviously we couldn't really do too much. Exercise prescription can be quite limited when someone's very big, especially when you're mindful of their joint health and stuff like that. So we weren't running around and jumping around like a pork chop or anything. Everything had to be really calculated. So we basically just focused on movement and increasing workout intensity. So doing some HIIT, we do some cardio, just some long distance stuff, and then we would obviously focus on doing some weight training. Nutrition wise, which is probably the most awesome part about it, is we never really kind of focused on sticking to a meal plan or a diet or something. Like when someone's quite large, you don't really need to focus on those finer details like someone like us would be. It's just like if we go essentially cleaning the food up, cleaning it up.
If we go back to the Don't Eat Healthy blog from last week, it's
finding a structure.
For someone of that size, eating healthy will do it.
Definitely.
Eating better.
It was more just making better choices and being more consistent. So, less takeaway and poor quality foods, and more whole foods, and a focus on increasing protein intake. So meal frequency went up, protein intake went up, and the meal frequency didn't go up for metabolism, just went up to eat better food more often. Increasing the protein intake. Obviously we're weight training.
Sounds like a bit of a broken record.
Keeping ourselves quite often. That's right. And Mary one day kind of told me that she entered this 12-week challenge that at the time Phoenix were holding, and I think I was away for the period that it started, and I got her back and she's like, I've entered this 12-week challenge, and I'm like, okay, cool. It was a bit unexpected for me. We were new to the gym and I didn't really think we kind of made enough inroads to do it, but she was super keen. So she's like, if this 12-week challenge is going to get me to where I need to go, boom, we'll do it. So we took some photos, we measured up, we did all that jazz. Kind of fell off the rails about 6 weeks in. Well, it didn't really fall off the rails, but just probably wasn't ready for that kind of stuff. We were still making lots of positive changes, and I think that was too much.
Which is common.
It was just too much at the start. But, and then at the end of it, she said, look, Jason, I don't really want to measure up at the end. I don't want to hand in my book. I don't want to do any of that. And I was really cool with that, especially at the start. I am a big believer in finishing things off and committing to them, but right at the start, and just in the nature of everything and the nature of Mary and stuff, I thought, cool, let's just leave it. 3 months later, we kept training, kept making good choices, wasn't even talking about her weight or anything like that. And all of a sudden I just got, because I was seeing Mary about 3 times a week at this point, and all of a sudden I said, you look different. And she said to me, yeah, I've lost 20 kilos. And I was
And
like,
it's someone because you see so often.
holy hell. Like 20 kilos just making good choices, training, and we were weight training and everything like that. So, it was 15 kilos, my bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, we noticed a physical change, and we kind of just kept going with that. The next thing from there was another 12-week challenge on. So she's like, look, I'm gonna, jump into this 12-week challenge. I'm gonna nail it.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, all right, let's do this.
Ready now, yeah.
So we set a goal. One of the goals was, to run. And I know I'm not a big fan of running, but like I think when you can't do something and you see other people do it, you kind of want to do it.
Yeah.
So under the circumstances, and we were kind of ready to I just needed her to commit to a challenge and do it.
Yep.
So I was like, cool, 1 kilometer, no more than that.
Yep.
And she's like, yep, I'm ready to do that. So I think we did a 1 kilometer time trial for 12 weeks, and she nailed a time by like 45 seconds or something like that. And she went from like during the first couple of weeks, there was a couple of like kind of fun runs around the park and stuff, and she went from running and walking that to nearly running the whole thing.
Yeah.
Now I know it's probably not a big deal for most people and that, but like I said, when everyone's passing you by and they're doing all these kind of things and you're like that, it's probably a big sense of achievement for somebody to do that.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the end of the challenge, on that time, I think Mary, and this is like over about 18 months, Mary was down to between 75 and 80 kilos.
Yeah.
So that's like 40 to 45 kilos in 18 months.
Yeah.
And that was off training 2 to 3 times a week, doing a group session on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like just think of your typical fat loss client.
Yeah.
That was it. It was the perfect.
General populace heading to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. Just
And
wants to be fitter and healthier.
It's something that we've seen, like we've probably all dealt with, and it's really rewarding to see someone that's gone, tried to lose weight or finally got motivated, and then it's just happened.
Yeah.
Everything's
Something clicks eventually, and all of a sudden they just
Well,
get that momentum.
it wasn't even that it clicked. Like everything kind of happened in its natural course.
It was
It's
just linear, and it just went as it needed to.
the one thing that set Mary aside to others that I've dealt with is just the fact of like how much she wanted it.
Yeah.
Like she
And I think
really
she had
wanted.
a real reason to as well.
Yeah,
like,
the internal motivator was there. It was like, I've gone through, like no one can even describe what it's like to go through something like that.
Yeah.
She's come out the other end and obviously got a new lease on life and was like, right, well, I'm going to make sure that this never happens again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give myself the best opportunity I can for, to live as long and healthy as possible.
Yeah.
But like,
and I think that mindset and the message that I would want to take from this to my clients is, because of that, her mentality was, I need to live a fit and healthy lifestyle forever. It's not, I need to go into the gym and lose 40 kilos.
Yep.
It's, I need to live a fitter and healthier lifestyle for the rest of my life.
definitely.
And then the training and nutrition and stuff was based on that, rather than just doing a 12-week challenge and hoping that that's going to fix everything.
And the 12-week challenge is not about a total transformation. It's about just getting that bit of momentum to push on into that sustainable.
it's not just a 12 week see you later. Like,
And I'm kind of so glad that we did it, because obviously it was quite uncomfortable at the start. Like, I didn't want to be taking photos of people and measuring them up when they're at that size, and we actually had to do that as one of the requirements of the program. And we found these photos like 2 years later of Mary when we first started, and like to the end of that second transformation challenge, like she's unrecognizable.
Doesn't even look like the same person.
She's absolutely unrecognizable. It is amazing. So
we'll make sure we get those.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get them up for you guys to see.
Yeah.
And then, so just finishing off, health-wise, Mary's still in remission.
Awesome.
I remember her telling me that her doctor could barely recognise her when she came in for a checkup one day. She just could not believe the amount of physical change that had happened in the time, because she was obviously on like 6 to 12 month kind of catch-ups with her doctor.
Yeah.
She gave us
it wouldn't even be physical change as well, like just mental and
everything,
Yeah.
everything.
Persona. And
She
everything.
basically lost a small person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Even now, like, just really happy kind of how things are. There's no restriction on her food. Understands, like, this is what we need to have more of.
Yep.
This is what we need to have in smaller amounts.
Yep.
There's lots of balance. Like, being of European descent, still enjoys mum's homemade pasta, all the things that we like as Europeans, your pizzas and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And then still eats, first class protein, lots of vegetables, has a salad at lunchtime, all that kind of stuff. There's never anything fancy. Like with the typical fat loss client, it's nothing fancy. Like you see all these people trying all these fancy techniques with someone when all they need to do is train properly, smartly, and consistently, and do that with their diet too. There's really no magic formula. So it was just a really good example, and I really like to use this one in particular, just because of obviously the result and just the way it happened.
And it comes back to the whole, keep it simple, stupid thing. Like it's, that's a really simple approach. There was no weighing food or counting calories. It was just eat whole.
Like not once did we weigh our food up until right now. Never actually weighed. The only thing we weighed is a scoop of protein powder because it's a scoop. Like there's nothing, and that's another thing too. Like this is someone in their late 30s, 40s, female, weight training, taking protein, doing lifting heavy, 3 rep maxes, 5 rep maxes, deadlifts, squats, bench press, you name it. Like we haven't done a cardio session in about 2 years now because Mary's happy with how she is. She's happy with her lifestyle, and all we do is weight train, which is going to keep her fit and healthy for a numerous amount of reasons. And it's just really, really manageable. So it's an amazing story. It's an amazing achievement for Mary, and I'm not going to take any credit for it because at the end of the day, she had to go out and do it herself. It's really easy to just fall back into the old habits of the past 35 years and just eat and not train and just think, well, it's not really worth it. But she grabbed it all by the scruff of the neck and pinned it up against the wall, and she went and got it. So it's just absolutely amazing.
Well done.
Awesome. Well done, Jace. Well done, Mary. We'll make sure those photos get up.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's some in our
there's some on Facebook and
some in our results page on the website, but I'll definitely put one up on the blog too. It's amazing.
Alrighty, we'll be back shortly, and I'm going to have a rant. Hello, and welcome to STCfit Sneak Peek.
Hey. Good to see you. Come on in, let's go. Yeah! Let's go! Alright, okay. Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up. First shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, y'all can't copy yet. Glad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music. I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back crush shit. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people.